Whether we are talking about the basic project management or the advanced project management or whatever the term we give it, we all need to accept that planning is an important part of project management. And when it comes to the advanced project management and advanced for the people who we call as an expert project managers, they know how to plan very well and they keep their life simple because the projects are unpredictable. The changes are always the customer will come with a change, and that could be so dynamic that the customer wants it in 1 or 2 days. So all these things, it's important. Very, let's have first the pointer here so that it's easy for us. So it's very important to have breaking down the deliverables. I'm sure that in day to day life also, when we plan, I think most of us do a family budget, or we uh, we do financial planning. So what you do to see that whether your cost is not you are not spending more, so you break down into small pieces, right, to track it. So similarly, when you are planning a vacation, then you delegate so that a particular itinerary to someone, or you delegate certain buying or shopping to someone. So likewise, all the task has to be made simple so that it is easy to track. That's how the project management also goes. It's a very simple example, but we will see more examples. But this again, breaking down the deliverables depends from project to project. So let's see the first pointer. The items need to be achievable and measurable. Again, I'm saying that the planning, the breaking down the deliverables, it depends from project to project. Let's see a IT scenario, IT project scenario, wherein you have a just we'll take two scenarios. One is very simple situation where you are the project manager for years in that project, and the client comes with a small change, but since it is not that small, you need to convert it to project. So you can just see that how it can be divided into deliverables, right? So that is one situation. So you are in control of the project, you know about the project very well, and you and your team are very well, because if you're working in that project for years, 4 to 5 years is enough to be functional and technical expert for the project, right? So then you're very clear of the requirement also, and you know the client very well. In such situation, the breaking down the deliverables becomes very easy. You know exactly if there is some change in the existing system, it's very easy. Similarly, when you are construction in the construction business or in any domain, the existing to change, so there are some projects which need changes in the existing system. So those things where which is running for years, and it needs just a small tweaking up of certain logics, where in technical, in IT industry or in other industry, it is you are very well aware of the whole thing and you are in control of the situation. Then the breaking down of the deliverables, it is very easy, and for those project managers it is easy to achieve, and you can break down into achievable and measurable format. So I will again give you one scenario. Most of you who would have gone for leadership trainings, corporate leadership trainings, they always say that your goal, whether it is yourself, you're setting a goal in your life, or if you're setting a goal for your project, it should be smart, wherein the M, it is the measurable goal. It's always practical. For example, it's important that if you keep those goals or those tasks, the deliverable, achievable, easy to track. Most of the project managers, why they are not able to achieve the plan, or they skip the deadline because of this, because they prepare very high level of planning. Even though they were in control of the project, I have seen in many cases that like my project leaders or even my peer project managers, they fail the project even though it is small and it could have been achieved. But since they have unrealistic expectations from the team and they don't set a achievable goal, then you will definitely able to succeed in that project, right? So we need to break down into achievable and measurable deliverables. But again, just consider a situation, and since It is the course about expert project management. So I'm giving an extreme cases where you have to handle a large project. For example, you have been given by your client, you're handling support of a ERP, and you have been given change the whole framework of the ERP. And since you're doing the maintenance for only 1 year, I'm just giving you a just a hypothetical situation, how you will handle it, you know. So where your team is new to the function and domain, and you're new to the technology, then what happens to breaking down the deliverables? In such case, what happens is, again, I'm giving the example of an ERP where the new framework has to be built. First of all, you need to sit with the client. What are their requirements? What are the difficulties they are facing in the existing old framework for the ERP? Again, this is an IT situation. So then they will come up with that they are facing performance issues, or the user interface has to be changed so that they have a less data entry to be done, so that it saves their business time. And trust me, it saves their millions of cost of the client, right? So then you have to sit with the client for the requirement, and you have to build an iterative model, because in such cases deliverables will be like in the first scenario, because you need to understand the technology, you need to build a prototype, build a transaction screen to the client, give them as a prototype, and if they approve, then go to the next stage. Then here the planning the whole thing and deliverable is not practical one. Even if the client and the stakeholder ask you that, you should say very clearly that it can't be done. And as a project manager, it is our duty to suggest them that we should go about an iterative model. In that way, the client can also see the advantages of the new framework and new technology. You will also get time to mentor your team on the new technology. So it's always important to see an expert project manager knows when to use what kind of methodology, whether it is agile or traditional. And also when we talk about planning, they know how to convince the client and go accordingly. Because just you set an unachievable schedules for your team, then it's not going to help out.